If you follow ABC2 in Focus on Twitter, you were the first to know today that former Mayor Sheila Dixon, who left office with the gift card controversy over her head in 2010, wants her job back. Investigator Brian Kubler followed her hints along the way, and he's here now with what he's learned about her launch.
Yeah, Jamie, in at least 3 different interviews last month here on our air, Sheila Dixon has hinted that she might run for her old seat next year. Today, she made it Facebook official. The former mayor dropped the announcement on her Facebook page and Instagram account this afternoon. She said she made the decision after talking with her family and encouragement from her friends. She claims she can reclaim, revive, and rebuild Baltimore. All of the social media accounts push people to the new Sheila Dixon for Mayor website. We tried reaching out to Dixon today for comment, but have yet to hear back. Dixon became mayor the first time back in 2007, but had to resign 2 years later after being found guilty of stealing gift cards meant for the city's poor. That sole conviction was a misdemeanor, but it forced her from office, including a probation which prohibited her from running for any elected office for a few years. That time has since been up, and she now plans to run against the woman who replaced her, current Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, who we caught up with today.
When I took over as mayor, we had a $140 million budget deficit. The pension system was running out of control. There were so many things that were left in disarray. And I've been very proud of the track record that I have of moving our city forward, of healing our city, and I'm looking forward to an opportunity to talk more about that.
Now, Dixon says she plans to formally kick off her campaign after Labor Day, but in the meantime, we'll reach out to people across Baltimore for their ideas and input.
All right, thank you, Brian. Here he is, my favorite professor from Towson University. Mr. John Bullock is here. I take it you're not surprised by this.
Not surprised at all.
Are you surprised that it went social media, that she launched it there, like Chris Christie did about his presidential race?
You know, it's interesting, but also it's something that's the wave of the time, where people are going to social media as opposed to going to regular channels of media.
Well, you could go on Facebook and see, well, she didn't write this last night.
Right.
I mean, she's been thinking about this for a while.
Oh, certainly. I mean, it was always a question of a matter of when as opposed to if. And again, it's something that a lot of us have been observing, and again, it's something we expected to see.
The big thing is, can she win?
It's definitely going to be a spirited campaign. I mean, it's going to be very competitive. I mean, given the current mayor and given Sheila Dixon, it's going to be very interesting between her and Rawlings-Blake.
You know, a lot of us want to run away from our past. How does she run away from her past?
Well, I don't think she has to. I don't think she runs away from it. I think she has to acknowledge what happened and then talk about what it is she wants to accomplish. And what she's been talking about is really what she was able to do in the past and trying to continue on along that train.
Okay, you want to get back to the spirited campaign. How aggressive? The current mayor said it's going to be an aggressive campaign. How aggressive?
Well, most certainly it's going to be very aggressive. I mean, you have to think about the fundraising, you'll think about the ground game. Both of them have pockets of support within the city. Also, if you think about some of the things that have happened recently in the city, it opens up a wave for both of them.
Will Sheila Dixon push the fact that crime was down when she was in charge?
I think she'll talk about that, and then she'll also mention the unrest, and she'll talk about trying to connect with the communities. And so even the perceptions of both individuals about being connected to the community or not being as connected, that's something I think that Sheila Dixon will talk about.
Or you study political science like nobody else. What kind of campaign do you think she should run?
I think it's going to really be a grassroots campaign. It's going to be something that's going to connect with the hearts and minds of voters. I think she's really going to try to make a strong appeal for her community connection. And so even in the last few months with everything that's been happening in the city, she's been getting some support, particularly on the west side of the city and some of those devastated areas.
All right, be honest, as you always are. Does anybody outside the city limits care?
I think they do. I think some people outside the city limits think about the spectacle of it, but those inside the city know that this is really about the future of Baltimore. What happens not only in the mayoral election, but even down the ballot in those city council races all throughout the city. It's going to make a big difference.
You've been on Facebook. You've been on our post today. You've seen it. Comparisons to Marion Barry. Unfair or not?
I think it's a little bit different than Marion Barry. Some people looked at what he did in his personal life. Some look at what happened in terms of the gift cards. But again, people would say it's a relatively minor offense, even though it was something that people had a certain distaste for. But I think it's something that didn't really impede her governance. I think she'll point to that.
And of course, we have 2 women running for mayor. Is there a possibility? Of course, there's going to be a possibility. Somebody from the outside is going to come in there and split the vote, right?
It is very possible for someone else to get in this race. I mean, it would be too many names to mention, but again, I mean, we have people who are elected at the state level, some who are at the city level, and then some who are even not elected at all who may be eyeing this race.
So it's going to be a very fun time, isn't it?
Indeed. We should just keep watching.
All right. John Bullock from Towson University. You are the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.